Is the steering on your boat heavy? Are you constantly having to pull on the tiller extension to keep your boat going in a straight line? If you do, you're suffering from weather helm. Hello, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV. Today we're going to be looking at weather helm. We're going to be looking at what causes weather helm and what you can do to reduce the amount of weather helm that you have on your boat. So firstly, what is weather helm, this term that you're using? Well, basically it's when you're sailing along and you're constantly having to pull on the tiller extension to keep the boat going in a straight line. That's what it is. There are of course varying degrees of weather helm. In the extreme, you're having to really fight it to keep the boat going straight. But what you want on your boat is just a small amount of weather helm. So if you were to let the stick go or fall off the boat would very slowly turn up into the wind. So you'd feel this on the tiller extension just by just the smallest amount of pull. Like, not much effort, just a very small pull. That is what you're after. So we'll start off with the most likely cause of weather helm, and what that is going to be is that your rudders are not down correctly. The further back your rudder is sitting, the heavier that is going to make the steering. So if the rudder is down at this kind of angle, the steering is going to be extremely heavy. If the rudder is down more, the steering is going to be lighter. So when the rudder's locked down, ideally we want this so it can't move at all. You can see on this boat the rudder is able to move a little bit, so even that small amount of movement will cause weather helm when sailing at high speeds. You probably won't notice it in the lighter winds or if you're just sailing upwind, downwind, but if you're beam reaching, perhaps hitting speeds of 20 knots or more, then you will feel the effect of weather helm from this amount of play in your rudder system. So if your rudder is doing that, check out the how to service your rudders video and get those bad boys serviced. So if you have already made sure that your rudders are down correctly and you're still getting weather helm, then the next reason might be that it's because you have too much mast rake. When we're talking about mast rake, we're talking about the angle of the mast in relation to the boat. So on the 16 here, this is as far upright as we'll have the mast on this boat, and then if it gets windier we might put more mast rake on. On here we'll do that by letting off the rig tension, and you'll be able to see the boom getting lowered, the mast coming back. So what that is doing, as we're bringing the mast further back, it is bringing the centre of effort of the sails further back, which is going to put more load on the rudders. So if your rudders are heavy but they're set up correctly, it might be that you have too much mast rake. Check out the video on mast setup, either for your Hobie 16 or if you're sailing a Tiger or an F18 or a Tornado. Check out the mast setup videos on those topics. The links to those videos will be in the description below, so you can just click on the link and that will take you there. On a 16 it is less likely that mast rake will be an issue, because as the mast comes back more, you're not actually able to sheet the mainsail in enough. So but on a Tiger or even a Hobie 15, a Pacific, a Tornado, Dart 16, Dart 18, anything like that, mast rake could be overloading your rudders. So that is something worth checking out. So if you've got your mast rake in the right position, the rudders are in the right position, but you're still getting weather helm, it might just be that you're sailing with too much main sheet on all the time. A good test of this, or a good way to feel this effect, would be if you try to turn your boat away from the wind without easing any main sheet. It'll feel like you have a lot of resistance from the back of the boat. That's because the mainsail is trying to bring you into the wind and you're trying to turn downwind with the rudders, so you're actually fighting the mainsail with the rudders. So ease the mainsail out a bit and then see how it feels. If you've done that and you're sailing perhaps in a heavy wind and you're still feeling the weather helm, the last thing to look at is downhaul. If you don't have enough downhaul on, especially on a boat like a Tiger, you will feel more weather helm. So really crank the downhaul on, and that will reduce the effect of weather helm on your boat, especially when it's windy. And the final one that could be causing your weather helm is, where are you sitting on the boat? If you're sitting right at the back of the boat all of the time, that's going to put more load on the rudders, which will give you more weather helm. As you sit further forwards on the boat, it's going to take the load off the rudders, giving you less weather helm. You should, as a rule, try to always be getting as far forwards as you can on the boat. This is on a 16. Always try to get as far forwards as you can on your 16, but without ever risking putting the deck under the water. So we're trying to get as much boat in the water as possible, but without risking putting the deck under. If you're sailing a Tiger, then your guideline of how far forwards to sit would be to be sailing so the water is covering this curved part of the hull at all times. If that is coming out, then that's going to be putting your rudders into the water more, which could be creating weather helm. In summary, the most likely reason that you've got weather helm on your boat is because the rudders aren't set up correctly, or you haven't put them down correctly. So check your rudders first and then start looking at other things. So thanks for watching. I hope this has been helpful and it's answered your questions about heavy steering. Thanks to everybody who's been supporting the channel, either through Patreon or through visiting totaljoyrider.com and hooking yourself up with a fresh new t-shirt or hoodie. And thanks to everybody who is subscribing to the channel. If you're not yet subscribing, hit the subscribe button, and then more useful information will be coming your way pretty much on a daily basis at the moment. So do subscribe if you don't yet subscribe. So there we go, from Wild Wind Sailing Holidays Beach Club and Resort here in Vasiliki, where it is absolutely exploding with champagne sailing these days. So check out the website if you want to know what goes on here in the link below. Thank you very much.